deciding to become a housewife and a stay-at-home mom is not an easy decision. I mean, there's so many things to consider. Is it something that I really want to do? Is it something that my family can afford? And what am I really gaining from it? But before I get into all that, let me welcome you back to my channel. My name is Ayanna, and this is Beyond Committed, where we talk about everything from life, faith, family, marriage, motherhood, and everything in between, and we take them beyond. If this is your first time here, welcome, and I'm so glad you stopped by. And to make sure you're not a stranger, make sure you press that subscribe button below, and then turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now let's dive right in. For me, becoming a housewife and a stay-at-home mom was not my lifelong dream. I enjoyed being a pharmacist, I enjoyed being a wife, and I enjoyed being a mom. And I wanted to do them all, and I did, and I enjoyed it. But after I had my twins, I felt that God was calling me to stay home. It wasn't something that my husband and I planned. It wasn't something that we had talked about for years before. Like, okay, this is the plan. If we have this many kids or at this time, you'll stay home. No, my plan was always just to keep working. But I really felt that God was calling me to be home. And it wasn't easy for me to kind of work through that. These plans, these things I had, worked toward. Now I'm just going to put them aside to just be a wife and a mom. But I have all these other things. I have all these abilities. I have all these gifts. How can I use them? And we shared, my husband and I, in another video, how my husband also struggled with, how are we going to make this work? Is this the best thing for our family? Because this was not our plan. But once I finally decided that, okay, I'm going to stay home, my husband was on board with it. And it took a while, took some transitioning, and I'll probably have to share a video about like how I transitioned and how, the ups and downs of that. I realized that although I had a really good pros and cons list, once I was truly at home and truly focused on my home and my kids and my husband, there are 5 things that I realized I gained from just being a stay-at-home mom. You gain a new profession. Now hear me out. Yes, I know if you're taking a step out of the workforce, you may be losing a career, losing a profession. However, when you become a housewife and a stay-at-home mom, you are gaining titles. You will need to gain new skills, new abilities, new ways to navigate things. And those are things that, yes, is going to be on-the-job training, a lot of on-the-job training, a lot of kind of trying to work it out and trying to see, okay, what works best for your home, what works best for your marriage, what works best for your kids, and what works best for you. But it is skills, and you gain things that, can be used anywhere, can be used in future business, can be used to better your marriage, can be used to, so many different things. And I'm just so grateful that I didn't just stop looking at, the fact that, I was no longer a pharmacist and realized, you know what? The title of housewife and stay-at-home mom, they're good titles as well. You also gain independence. You are no longer tied to somebody else's timetables or what somebody else tells you should do and how you should do it and the way in which you should do it. However, this does come with an independence and ability to now make your own routines, make your own schedules, and make your own ways of doing things. And you're going to have to do that because in order to be a successful housewife and a successful stay-at-home mom, you're going to need routines. You're going to need schedules. You're going to need, these are the things that need to be done. These is the order that it needs to be done in. And this is the way that I'm going to do it. And over time, you're going to have to adjust them because you'll have in your mind the way you want things to happen. But then life happens and the reality sets in. Okay, this is how I wanted them to happen, but this is not how they did. So how do I adjust? How do I do what's best for me? How do I do what's best for my husband? And how do I do what's best for my kids and the way to make sure that my house is running smoothly? So it's the independence that you are working towards, but the independence that is well worth it. Another thing you gain is adult interaction. And yes, I know as a stay-at-home mom, most of your time is probably spent with your children, especially when they're younger. However, because you are more independent and you are more in control of your schedule and your routine, this gives you opportunity to cultivate relationships with other moms, with other wives, to help kind of grow your circle, to help you grow in so many ways. And I know for me, that was so freeing and so just inspiring once I was like, okay, I know I have these kids, but does that mean they're the only people I should talk to? No, it allowed me to just gain relationships and gain new circles and gain some of my best friends or moms that we were kind of going through the thick of it with each other. Now that our kids are older, we've able just to, kind of grow with each other as well, but also other wives be able, to share the hard things with each other and not just stay at home moms or not just housewives. Having friends with those who are working outside of the home or inside of the home help you both to grow, help you both to have healthy, well-rounded relationships. So I encourage you, if you're a stay-at-home mom or a housewife, realizing that the adult interaction is necessary, but also it's a really good benefit to just being able to control your own schedule. Another thing you gain is respect. Now, this is not going to be from everybody because not everyone looks at being a housewife or a stay-at-home mom as this, position of esteem. And that's okay too. But for those of us who have done it, it takes a lot of courage to step away from our career. It takes a lot of courage to be fully devoted to your home and your kids and not, feel like, you are missing out on something. It takes a lot of courage to be like, what do you do for a living? I stay home. And then just be in that space. And you'll learn, and that's one thing that I have learned, that a lot of people do respect it. A lot of people are like, man, that takes a lot of courage. Or a lot of people are like, man, I wish I could do that. Or, that was one of the best things that I did for my marriage or I did for my kids. So I would encourage you that while not everybody is going to look at it, as a benefit or as a plus, there's a lot of respect that comes from, what? I'm going to do what God is calling me to do for my marriage and my family first. And the career and the businesses and all that can come later. And the fifth thing you gain for being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom, which has been one of the best things to me, has been a deeper relationship with God. Because it takes faith to step away from your career. It takes faith to go from 2 paychecks to 1. It takes faith to be like, okay, God, I'm going to go out here on this water. I'm not really sure how to be a housewife. I'm not really sure how this stay-at-home mom life is supposed to look. But I'm going to trust you to help me. And as you draw near to God, as you pray, as you seek, because you're going to need to, because there's going to be ups and downs in it. There's going to be days when you're confident in what he's called you to do. And there's going to be days where you're like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't know if this is really what you want me to do. My marriage isn't everything I wanted it to be. My kids are, fighting, fussing, or it's a struggle. But that's life. And it is in those moments where you're like, okay, what I'm going to do is press in. What I'm going to do is draw near to God. And what I'm going to do is allow God to show me how I'm supposed to walk this out. What additional help I may need in order to be the best housewife and the best stay-at-home mom I can be. And realize that takes faith too, to realizing that you don't have all the answers. But with God, trust me, you will get the answers you need and you will walk it out the way you need to. All right, that's it for today. And I want to know, have you ever considered being a housewife or a stay-at-home mom? And if you are, what is one of the best things that you gained from being home? Let me know in the comment box below. And until we meet again, bye.